more than 2/3 of gun deaths are suicide.
Wow.
And more than 2/3 of suicides are with guns.
Mm.
So you can't really talk about one without the other. And so when I came in, I really, really wanted to work in that area. This was really important to me. And there was a new suicide commission. So I went and talked to the legislator who had created the legislation to start the suicide commission. And I said, I want to help. I want to be a part of this. This is really important to me. So if you're going to talk about suicide, you must start thinking about gun violence. That's where most of it happens. So I mentioned that, and that Republican no longer would talk with me and ushered me out of the office and made sure that I never got to be involved with the commission. So I got involved instead in a different way. And working on the extreme risk protection order legislation. That is one way to help people who might be harming themselves or others. Someone could notice something, and the police would have a tool to take temporary possession of their firearms. And then an evaluation happens. They may get them back, but they may not get them back. They may be held for a while, and then maybe they'll get help instead. That set of bills in other states is proven to reduce suicide by 16 to 18%, I think somewhere in there. I mean, a specific, noticeable, definable, provable number. And all it is giving temporary permission to take possession, because in suicide, sometimes all you need is a day to think and someone to talk to. So it also happens that the same issue that we see with child shootings and child injuries with weapons, the simple protections of locking your firearm, safe storage, would reduce those. In every state that does this, they see noticeable drops, even up to as much as 40%, just because of safe storage laws. Wow. Doesn't take anybody's weapons away, doesn't change any, just makes you store them safely. And yet we can't pass those bills here. I mean, over and over again, we keep bringing up things. How about this sort of legislation? How about we do it this way? And we cannot get hearings, let alone votes on any of it. So it's very frustrating. It's very harmful to our people. And Michigan is just, there's something about us. I grew up in the country here, and I grew up in a hunting family. I learned how to shoot a pistol when I was a kid. I learned how to shoot a rifle when I was a kid. I never actually went hunting myself, but many people in my family hunt and still do. And they're all responsible gun owners. They take care of their firearms. They securely store them. No one's ever gotten a hold of their gun illegally or accidentally and shot someone or hurt themselves. So it's all possible if we could just put some simple protections in place. We still have an issue with too many guns and guns that are unsecured. No other country has the problem we have here in the United States. And it's because we have almost half the guns in the world are here in the United States.
Wow.
Crazy, right?
It's crazy. And that we're not talking responsible gun owners there, like your family, like my husband's family, Yes. Yeah, that's not the way it is.
So Gifford's Law, they work, if you remember Gabby Gifford, right? So she started that organization, does all kinds of great work. They've started an organization here in Michigan, Gun Owners for Responsible Gun Ownership. So we're trying to get other groups. So we're working with pediatricians and the State Medical Society and get other groups to stand up and say, enough is enough. Yeah. It's time for responsible ownership here. On the hunters, we're trying to get a group called Hunters for Guns, Responsible Gun Ownership, because they don't want this. No. And you ask any hunter if they ever needed an AR-15 to go hunting.
No.
Do you need an automatic pistol to go hunting? No, surprisingly, they don't.
No.
Yeah.
You're exactly right. And, when I think about it, it's, kids getting a hold of these that are accidentally hurting each other, or the ones going into schools, right? Or it's a lot of time a kid getting a hold of something and
they shouldn't have access to.
nope.
They need help, right? They all need help. I mean, that's another issue, right? That's one of the other reasons why I went there, was to work on mental health. So that's what we need to give them, not a firearm.
Mm-hmm. You know, it's tempting to blame the NRA, and they do hold a huge amount of responsibility, I believe. But don't you think that if Americans really wanted to fix this, we would have it fixed by now?
Well, there's a lot of issues with communication right now and messaging to people, and what are they understanding? What are they hearing? So there's I asked some gun owners who asked me about my position on this when I was first running for office, 4 years ago, and and they said, well, we want to make sure that we can take care of ourselves and our family when they come after us. And I said, well, who's they? I mean, I literally didn't know what they were talking about, but they have this fear that the government's going to come after them and they need to be able to protect themselves.